Güey, ya, ya me parezco la esta, güey. Ay, so this little camo hat. All right, we're doing meditations. Meditations this time. Left page, right page, turn, bookmark. That's it. That which rules within, when it is according to nature, is so affected with respect to the events which happen that it always easily adapts itself to that which is possible and is presented to it. For it requires no definite material, but it moves toward its purpose under certain conditions, however, and it makes it material for itself out of that which opposes it. As fire lays hold of what falls into it, by which a small light would have been extinguished, but when the fire is strong, it soon appropriates to itself the matter which is heaped on it and consumes it, rises higher by means of this very material. Let no act be done without a purpose, nor otherwise than according to the perfect principles of art. Men seek retreats for themselves, houses in the country, seashores and mountains, and thou too art wont to desire such things very much, but this is altogether a mark of the most common sort of men, for it is in thy power whenever thou shalt choose to retire into thyself. For nowhere either with more quiet or more freedom from trouble does a man retire than into his own soul, particularly when he has within him such thoughts that by looking into him he is immediately in perfect tranquility. And I affirm that tranquility is nothing else than the good ordering of the mind. Constantly then give to thyself this retreat and renew thyself, and let thy principles be brief and fundamental, which as soon as thou shalt recur to them will be sufficient to cleanse the soul completely and to send thee back from all discontent with the things to which thou returnest, for with what thou art discontented with the badness of men, recall to thy mind this conclusion, that rational animals exist for one another, and that to endure is a part of justice, and that men do wrong involuntarily. And consider how many already, after mutual enmity, suspicion, hatred, fighting, have been stretched dead, reduced to ashes, and be quiet at last. But perhaps thou art dissatisfied with which is assigned to thee out of the universe. Recall to thy recollection this alternative: either there is providence or Adam's fortuitous concurrence of things, or remember the arguments by which it has been proved that the world is a kind of political community, and be quiet at last. And quiet at last, quiet. But perhaps corporeal things will still fasten upon thee. Consider then further that the mind mingles not with the breath, whether moving gently or violently, when it has once drawn itself apart and discovered its own power, and think also of all that has heard and assented to about pain and pleasure, and be quiet at last. But perhaps the desire of the thing called fame will torment thee. See how soon everything is forgotten, and look at the chaos of infinite time on each side of the present, and at the emptiness of applause, and the changeableness and want of judgment in those who pretend to give praise, and the narrowness of the space within which it is circumscribed, and be quiet at last. For the whole earth is a point, and how small a nook in it is this thy dwelling, and how few are there in it, and what kind of people are they who will praise thee? Then remains. Remember to retire into this little territory of thy own, and above all, do not distract or strain thyself, but be free and look at things as a man, as a human being, as a citizen, as a mortal. But among the things readiest to thy hand, to which thou shalt turn, let there be these which are true. One is that things do not touch the soul, for they are external and remain immovable, but our perpetuations come only from the opinion which is within.